Live from WTOC, the Southeast news leader. The News Now starts on WTOC Plus.
Happy New Year. Welcome to The News on WTOC Plus. I'm digital anchor Jude Binkley. We do start 2026 with some serious news here. Savannah police arrested a woman after a shooting that sent a man to the hospital on New Year's Eve. Here's what we know. SPD says around 9:30 last night, officers responded to the 1900 block of Quincy Street. That was based off of ShotSpotter reports. When officers arrived on scene, they found a male victim had been taken to the hospital by a private car. Officers do say he is in stable condition. The suspect in the shooting, who Savannah police describe as an adult woman, was found near the scene and arrested. SPD says the investigation is ongoing, and anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 912-234-2020 or submit an anonymous tip through the SPD mobile app. We have two overnight fires to tell you about. Both of them happened in Beaufort County. First, a family was displaced after emergency crews responded to a house fire on Glaze Drive in Burton. Firefighters entered the building searching for anyone trapped inside. An adult female and two children escaped prior to arrival of emergency crews. That adult woman was taken from the scene by Beaufort County EMS for non-life-threatening injuries. This fire is still under investigation, and that was the first fire of the night, Officials say just after midnight, while crews were still cleaning up the fire on Glaze Drive, Burton Fire responded to another fire at the Bay Mobile Home Park on Shanklin Road. It happened after a family of 5 noticed smoke inside their home while getting ready for bed. The Burton Fire District says they arrived on scene to find smoke coming from a mobile home, and neighbors nearby were trying to put out the flames that were coming from underneath that mobile home. Firefighters were able to put out the flames before it spread into the home itself. No injuries were reported, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. Well, the new year brings new laws for Georgia homeowners and taxpayers. New laws for 2026 include a decrease in the state income tax and some help for homeowners when it comes to storm damage. Niamani Watson with our sister station has the details.
Georgia's flat state income tax will once again drop from 5.19% to 5.09%. It's part of a plan to get it under 5% by 2027. If you own a home, this new law could help if it's damaged by a natural disaster. Georgians are now allowed to open a catastrophe savings account. One of the bill's sponsors, Senator Larry Walker III, says it allows homeowners to pay for the cost of repairs not covered by insurance.
And to feel comfortable going with a higher deductible on their homeowner's insurance to get that homeowner's insurance premium down.
The bill went into effect in July of last year, but applies to taxable years starting today. Speaking of insurance, companies are now required to give policyholders a 60-day notice before their policies are terminated instead of 30 days. Other new laws deal with politics ahead of this year's midterm elections. The State Ethics Commission will no longer accept complaints made about candidates or their campaigns within 60 days of an election. Lastly, private property owners can now boot trespassing vehicles in cities that allow it. The owners are required to post warnings.
Meanwhile, if your 2026 New Year's resolution involves budgeting, you may want to take note of the federal changes happening today. They could affect your Social Security benefits, healthcare costs, and more. Amy Kiley has details on new financial and the other measures that are now in effect.
It's a new year, and new federal changes that start today could affect Americans' wallets and lives. For some seniors, money could get a bit tighter. Social Security recipients are getting a 2.8% cost of living increase. The administration's earnings test, wage cap, and maximum benefit also are going up. But Medicare Part B premium costs are rising almost $18 a month. That's one of the largest increases in the program's history. Add inflation, and the net result could be in the red for some seniors. Meanwhile, millions of people on Obamacare are facing much steeper costs. Pandemic-era subsidies are gone as of today.
We're expecting that on average, premium payments are going to more than double.
This is the first regular tax season with changes in effect from a bill signed in July. They include higher standard and SALT deductions, as well as new breaks for seniors, car loan interest, tips, and overtime.
Those very important things, put more money in working class people's pockets.
A proclamation out yesterday delays tariff hikes on some furniture, kitchen cabinets, and vanities that were set to begin on New Year's Day. Finally, the president's travel ban is now expanded to 39 countries.
The American complaint is that these countries pose national security and public safety threats.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And we do have another heads up for the new year. The USPS is changing its postmark process, which could affect the way you send important mail, such as bills or ballots. For decades, the postmark used to show when mail was accepted by the post office. It was used as proof that an individual met a deadline, such as a ballot on Election Day. But now the postmark will reflect the date an envelope is first processed by an automatic sorting machine, not the drop-off date. Time-sensitive mail should now be mailed several days before a given deadline. And if you have student loans, you should take note because the White House will begin wage garnishments for those in default this month. With the renewed enforcement, employers may now be required to withhold a portion of your paycheck and send it directly to your loan servicer. Thousands of borrowers have already received notices, and that number is expected to climb each month. Well, if you've already made your New Year's resolution or your vision board, you're not alone. But here's the challenge. Many of us fail those resolutions before the end of January. But here's the thing. Your brain might actually be working against you, so you might want to consider a different style of goal setting. Resolutions have been around for 4,000 years. That's according to Clemson professor Danny Weathers. However, streaks are pretty new. Apps like Duolingo, MyFitnessPal, and Strava for running are turning goal setting into a game with notifications to remind you to keep playing. For some people in the low country, those reminders work. That pressure to keep a streak motivates them. But for others, it's about meeting a long-term goal instead of a daily one. Professor Weathers says the key to starting a resolution is defining one specific action to consistently do. Daily reminders can build lasting habits if that motivates you.
I did a survey of people who have daily streaks of running at least 1 mile, and there was over 40% of the people in the survey who began their streaks on January 1st. People feel pressure to keep up their streaks. It's a bigger goal, and people like to achieve goals. So we have the daily behavior is a short-term goal, maintaining the streak is a longer-term goal. So people are motivated for that reason, but not all people are equally motivated by streaks.
Experts say to start small with your resolutions, pick one action and set that daily reminder and give yourself permission to really find what motivates you, whether that's a streak or a bigger goal. And over time, that streak might just become your newest habit.
Keeps Georgia on my mind.
Well, the song of the Peach State is officially in the public domain. Georgia on My Mind was composed by Hoagie Carmichael and its lyrics by Stuart Gorel. It was first published in 1930, 1 century ago. However, Ray Charles's timeless rendition was recorded in 1960, and it is still under copyright protection. Turning now to sports, the fans are in, the vibes are high, and the stage is set in the Big Easy. Tonight, the Georgia Bulldogs and the Ole Miss Rebels are going head-to-head in a Sugar Bowl brawl. Georgia faces Ole Miss for the second time this season, and for those interested, the Dogs are 4-0 under Kirby Smart when they play a rematch against a team in the same season. There's so many storylines in this game. The Rebels playing without their head coach, Lane Kiffin. Gunnar Stockton returns to the stadium where he got his first career start in last year's Sugar Bowl. Ole Miss also scored the second most amount of points against Georgia, 35. Since that game in October, nobody scored more than 21 points against the Dogs. After last night's quarterfinal game, these teams know who waits for them if they survive and advance. They'll be playing Miami. Well, monks continue their peace walk. They arrived in Snellville, Georgia on Wednesday, and crowds lined the streets to welcome the 19 monks as they made their way to a Buddhist temple there for a special celebration. The monks reunited with one of their own, a monk who was actually hit by a car during their peace walk last month. His injuries were so severe that his leg had to be amputated.
As the monks walked from Decatur to visit one of their own, a man who can no longer walk beside them says his spirit never left their path.
I'm very proud, first and foremost, to partake in this Walk of Peace project. Since day one, I have felt that it is very important with the inner peace and the time that this group of monks have devoted to promote the world peace within our community.
Venerable Mahadam was walking with the monks in Texas last month when he was seriously injured in an accident. Since then, he's followed the journey from afar, watching each stop, each community, and each message of peace.
I'm just overwhelmed with the feeling of getting the message across about spreading peace, compassion, love, harmony, and again, community gathering.
The monks this week received overwhelming support in Georgia and across Metro Atlanta. On Wednesday, strangers honored Venerable Mahadam, communities coming together, opening their hearts to donate essentials and even showers and volunteering. Venerable Mahadam says the response is deeply moving.
I'm very, very proud that we are already making an impact to every community that the Walk of Peace monks have come across. Me sitting here watching, words can't even express how proud I am of this message about world peace, which is what we need right now.
He also spoke with us about his accident.
No regrets. I made the decision coming into this knowing the risk, knowing that if anything is going to happen to me, I'd be willing to sacrifice that.
As he waited for the monks to arrive in Snellville, Venerable Mahadam was hopeful.
My hope is for that everyone who has seen, experienced, and witnessed this project through Walk for Peace will continue to learn, continue to understand, and to practice within their daily lives internally the understanding of what peace is and to always continue to do good.
For him, the Walk for Peace didn't end. It simply took a different form. As the monks
And that Snellville monk will ultimately reunite with the group of 19 once they make it to their final destination in Washington, D.C., which is expected to be in February. All right, and finally here on WTOC Plus, many kids dream of puppies or bicycles under the tree for Christmas, but for one young boy, that gift makes his eyes light up, and it comes with a lesson as well.
I'm only sleeping on Jimmy Carter.
So you got your Jimmy Jammies.
Yeah.
You got your Jimmy Carter blanket.
Yeah.
And you got your
Jimmy Carter pillow.
Perfect. Love it.
All right, in a now viral TikTok video, 5-year-old Ryan Ramos from New Jersey unwraps a pillow, a blanket, and pajamas, lovingly dubbed Jimmy Jammies. Former President Jimmy Carter died 1 year ago this week at 100 years old. Ryan's mom, Lauren, says while other kids look up to superheroes or star athletes, Jimmy Carter is Ryan's hero.
What do you like about Jimmy Carter?
How he was really built houses for other people.
And it's nice to instill those morals in my children. Like that's, I think I put on one of my videos, like that's the goal of all this, is to raise kind, empathetic men. So if I could do that, and he's got the right idea with his values, so hopefully everyone else will catch on and the world could be a better place.
And Ryan doesn't just admire the former president and Georgia governor, but he follows his example as well. Last year, he helped build a playset for a family through Habitat for Humanity, the nonprofit Jimmy Carter partnered with for more than 30 years. All right, and with that, we are going to wrap things up this afternoon for the news on WTOC Plus. We'd like to wish you all a very happy New Year. We'll be back in just about 45 minutes for another round of stories. And in the meantime, you can always head on over to our website to get the latest updates at WTOC.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll now join Local News Live in progress.